your choice to show up and participate tonight is truly, truly appreciated. It's very disappointing that the other two running as incumbents decided not to participate. I think that in and of itself speaks volumes about how they feel about the community, quite frankly. But my question is really around school safety. And unfortunately, too many tragedies have happened at schools. Schools, unfortunately, have become targets of outside threats. And so I'm curious if there's anything you would do to prioritize improving school safety, whether that's additional, police officers that are present and available on campus during the school day. I know particularly in North Hudson, the police of the village drive around the school property every morning, and I actually really appreciate seeing them and their presence, knowing that they're close and nearby should an incident occur. Of course, this is something none of us really want to think about, but every time it happens on the news, my children, who are 14 and 11, get concerned and are asking questions. And as a parent, I want to feel confident sending my kids to school every day that the high quality education they're receiving in the Hudson district is going to be, that they're going to be protected and safe during the day. So that's my question. School safety.
Thank you for your question. So the safety of our students is my #1 priority. When I drop my kids off every morning, I actually wait till they go through that door to make sure that they've gotten in there safely. Safety is non-negotiable. Safety is something that we need to make sure that not only for our students, but all of our staff. Anybody who walks through those doors, anybody who sets foot on our grounds feels safe, they feel protected. So I will look at all of our safety protocols, all of our safety procedures and policies to make sure that they are up to standards and that we're doing everything we can possibly do to keep everyone safe. You had a second part of that question, I'm sorry.
I mean, if there's anything additional that we could do for all of the safety perspective, adding resources or security protocols, I mean, I don't want to say it.
Right, no.
Detectors, for instance.
No.
What are
I'm just all for keeping our kids safe. If that means that, it's in the budget, we have SROs in each schools, those kind of things, that just gives everybody the warm fuzzies, right? When we talk about being in the people business, that gives me a warm fuzzy when I see that, It makes it a harder target for our children, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's what's happened in the past. So I support safety, full stop, and everything that I can do to make sure that, it's not only your kids, my kids are there as well, So we just want to make sure everyone's safe.
All right. Something about Joe, I think that is unique about the two of us, and he kind of spoke about this, or not necessarily now, but before, is we're both Air Force veterans. We are very familiar with security and threats and dealing with them. And identical to Joe, safety for me is an absolute. It is not are our schools safe? It is an absolute. It is a baseline, right? Our kids are our future. They are the future of all of our community and our country and of our world. They are the most precious asset that we have to protect. Now, I'm going to give you one example of why safety and security is important to me, just to show you something that I've done, and then about should there be any more. One thing to show just that safety and security matters to me most, I'm a facilities guy, I'm a buildings guy, so I like looking at plans, right? Over the last few weeks, I went back and I looked online to go see what type of drawings or construction plans that were out there. And I found 10 different spots where there were scaled drawings of Hudson schools out and open to the public. I let the school district know, I called them out, they said thank you, that they went and they dealt with it. Some of them had been out there for a very long time. I don't want to tell you specifics, but they were, and I'm glad that they've been removed. So that's really, really good. Now in terms of, is there anything else that needs to be done? I'm going to use a military phrase. I'm not read in on the situation, on everything that happens about are there any formal threats out there, or what are they, and how do they align with all of the protocols or procedures that are out there. I'd start there, and then I'd evaluate and say, okay, do we actually need to do any more, or we're in a really good spot.